Wow, look at that. Yeah, forgot how beautiful Warkworth is. It was definitely the right thing to come out early because this is the blue hour, so you've got it's the way that the light reacts in the atmosphere, and you get this blue cast. But as you said, it's called the blue hour, and I think if we'd continued up the coast, we'd still be driving and would miss the sunrise. So we just got to try and find where we want to compose, really. See the wooden thing coming out there.
In all honesty, it was the only thing on the beach. It was high tide and there was nothing else. Could have gone to those dunes, but really the wooden bit of driftwood that was sticking in the beach was probably the best of the lot. So I'm going to use my 24-70. Okay, so the setup here is obviously my A7R2 on a geared head Manfrotto tripod. Focus, I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to recompose where I want the next one. It doesn't have to be exact, just in there, take the shot. I didn't explain particularly very well at this point. Sorry, I'm new to this game. Not photography, YouTube. I'm focus stacking. So what I'm actually doing is I'm taking the focus point and moving it on the screen. Now ideally what you do is you look at your foreground, take a shot, look at your midground, take a shot, and then look at your distance and take a shot. The focus then is on those three areas. You can take those three photographs, put them in to Photoshop, and Photoshop will sort it out, and what you'll get is absolute sharpness front to back. You'll also get a big file as well, so if you do want to print up to large print, you can do that. What some people do, something I learned recently, is that you don't need a medium format camera. If you take a picture and you put 4 or 5 shots and you basically cover the whole square image, and you ask it to do a panoramic version of this in Photoshop. Photoshop stitches everything together and you can make a medium format picture which is serious megapixels and actually at the same level as a medium format camera. You can do exposure compensation, which actually I do later and I don't explain it and I'm really sorry. And in this instance, again, you take your focus point, put it into different places, because what you find is the problem I've got here is I've obviously got a very dark foreground and then the light background because the dynamic range is so big. But you can bring back those shadows. You can bring them back in Photoshop. You protect those highlights. Once the highlights are blown out, you've got no image information there. So although there are some, as you can see, a little bit blown out, it's acceptable to have a few. And what I can then do is later in Photoshop, when I stack those images together, that's fine. The other alternative to this is to let the camera do this, and it can basically take 3 images for you. There will be a setting for this, and it will take it in compensation levels. So you might have a darker shot, so that'd be in minus compensation. You'll have one spot on, it's 0, and then you'll have one that's a positive, so lighter. And what the camera does is take these 3 pictures. There's lots of different ways. Get into your manuals, have a look at them. Every camera has a different way of doing this, but all the cameras I've ever had do have this, and it's hidden away sometimes. And they'll take those 3 shots. You can take those 3 shots into Photoshop, and you can actually then process it. Some cameras will do it for you and will give you a composition of those 3 shots. At the moment, as you can see in here, I'm looking more towards probably compensation here, of actually trying to get the exposure right. Well, it's almost time to go. It really isn't full sunrise now. I like the day, especially the hottest day of the year. We'll see.